Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're packing our bags, checking our shoes very carefully, and heading down under.
Definitely checking the shoes.
Oh, absolutely. Because we are talking about Australia. And, we all know the reputation, right? The land where basically everything is trying to kill you.
Yeah, it's a global reputation. It's arguably one of their biggest exports at this point.
Right. The mental image you get is just snakes in the tall grass, spiders hiding under the toilet seat, sharks patrolling the surf.
It really feels like you need a full suit of armor just to go check the mail.
Exactly. But we have got a stack of research here today, including some incredibly detailed data from the last couple of decades that suggests the reality for you, the person actually walking around down there, is, well, it's a little different than the postcards.
It is. And what's fascinating here is that the reputation isn't just entirely made up. Australia really does have a massive concentration of venomous animals.
Because of the isolation, right?
Precisely. It's due to millions of years of evolutionary isolation. When Australia separated from the other land masses, it essentially became this giant laboratory for venom.
Right, because they didn't have the big mammalian predators. No, lions or bears or wolves.
Exactly. So the snakes, the spiders, the marine creatures, they all diversified. They developed these incredibly potent chemical weapons to hunt because they were filling ecological niches that mammals usually fill in other parts of the world.
They needed to drop fast-moving prey instantly.
Right. If you're a snake chasing a warm-blooded mouse, you can't bite it and wait an hour for it to die. You need it to stop right there.
So the chemistry is definitely there. The potential for danger is absolutely real.
The potency is very real.
Uh-huh.
But, and this is the big but of today's deep dive, the actual danger to you, statistically speaking, is widely misunderstood.
Okay, so that is our mission today. We are doing a bit of myth busting. We are going to look at the hard numbers, specifically this massive study covering animal-related deaths between 2001 and 2017 to find out what actually kills people in Australia.
And spoiler alert,
It is probably not what you think.
it almost certainly isn't.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at a 16-year period, 2001 to 2017. Total animal-related deaths in Australia, 541. Now, first off, in a country of about 23 million people, that seems remarkably low.
It is very low. That's an average of about 34 deaths per year across the entire continent.
Wow.
Yeah. If you compare that to heart disease, car crashes, or even accidental falls in the home, the risk is a tiny, tiny fraction of a percent.
But because animal attacks are so dramatic, they get all the press.
Exactly. They tap into that primal fear. We worry about the shark, but we don't worry about the cheeseburger.
The Jaws effect. Okay, but of those 541 deaths, surely the great white shark or, I don't know, the inland taipan is topping the leaderboard.
I definitely think so. But if we look at the data, the #1 deadliest animal in Australia during that period isn't a snake. It isn't a spider or a shark.
Okay.
It's the horse.
The horse.
The horse. 172 deaths.
You're kidding.
No, 172. That is roughly 11 deaths per year.
That is wild. So more people are killed by, like, My Little Pony than by the monsters of the deep.
Significantly more. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it makes sense. It's about physics, not chemistry.
No.
The danger here isn't venom, it's mass and momentum.
Because horses are just huge, powerful animals.
Right. Most of these fatalities are falls. We're talking crushing injuries, head trauma, or getting kicked.
A 500-kilogram animal spooking is a massive amount of kinetic energy.
Exactly. And here's the kicker pun, absolutely intended. These aren't just tourists hopping on a horse for the first time. Many of the victims are experienced riders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just shows that when you interact frequently with a massive animal, the risk accumulates over time. It's familiarity, not malice.
It's just not the creature feature horror movie we expect. So who is number 2 on this list?
Cattle. Cows and bulls. They caused 82 deaths.
Yeah.
And again, it's mostly farm workers being crushed or gored. It's an occupational hazard.
Okay, so we have horses, we have cows. I'm seeing a pattern here. This is sounding way more like a farm accident report than a wildlife documentary.
Well, it continues. Number 3 is dogs, with 53 deaths.
Dogs. Like family pets.
Often, yes. These are attacks on vulnerable people or falls caused by dogs just enthusiastically knocking someone over.
Okay. Number 4. Please tell me we get to a native animal soon.
Number 4 is the kangaroo.
Okay, finally. But wait, kangaroos, are they, like, boxing people to death? I mean, I've seen the videos online. Those things look ripped.
They are incredibly strong, but no. And this is a really important distinction in the data. The 37 deaths attributed to kangaroos are almost entirely vehicle collisions.
Oh, the traffic fatalities.
Exactly. A kangaroo hops onto the highway at dusk, a car hits it, and the driver or passenger is killed in the crash. It's classified as an animal-related death, but the lethal weapon is the car.
Not the kangaroo.
Right.
So if we pause and look at this list, horses, cows, dogs, kangaroos, we are way down the list before we even get to the scary stuff.
Exactly. To put a fine point on it, sharks caused 27 deaths, and snakes caused 37 deaths in that same 16-year period.
Wow.
Horses alone killed more people than sharks and snakes combined.
That is a staggering stat. It really flips the script on what you should actually be afraid of. But look, I don't want to let the snakes off the hook completely here.
Fair enough.
Because even if the death toll is low, Australia really does have the most venomous snakes on Earth. The reputation didn't come from nowhere.
No, it didn't, and this is where we get into the biology of it. Australia is dominated by a family of snakes called the lapids.
And those are the ones with fixed fangs.
Yes, fixed front fangs. In other parts of the world, like the U.S., you have vipers with folding fangs. But Australian snakes are built for speed and efficiency.
Because they evolved to hunt fast, warm-blooded prey like mice and small lizards.
Correct. So they needed potent neurotoxins to drop them immediately.
So let's talk about the heavy hitters. Who is the big bad of the Australian bush?
In terms of actual human fatalities, it's the eastern brown snake. It's responsible for the majority of snake deaths, over 21 confirmed since the year 2000.
Why the eastern brown? Is it just the most toxic?
Not quite. It's highly toxic, but the main issue is its behavior and its geography. Eastern browns are fast, they're nervous, and they actually thrive in human-disturbed areas.
Oh, like farms and suburbs.
Exactly. They love farms and suburbs because that's where the mice are. So you end up with a highly venomous, very defensive snake living right in people's backyards.
That is a terrible combination. A nervous snake with a lethal weapon living under your back porch?
And their venom is nasty. It causes a very rapid collapse. We're talking about a mechanism called coagulopathy.
Which means?
It stops your blood from clotting. It basically turns your blood into water, so you bleed internally, and that's combined with paralysis. Symptoms can hit in as little as 15 minutes.
15 minutes? That is terrifying. You barely have time to call an ambulance.
It is fast. But if you want to talk about raw, unadulterated power, we have to mention the inland taipan.
Right.
By the raw numbers, it is the most venomous land snake in the world.
Okay.
A single bite has enough venom to theoretically kill 100 adult humans.
One bite. 100 humans. That's nuclear level venom. Why aren't they the top killer?
Here's the paradox. The inland taipan lives in the absolute middle of nowhere, remote deserts where basically nobody goes. It's also incredibly shy.
Oh, okay.
There are virtually no recorded deaths from it because it just never meets people.
So the most dangerous weapon is the one you never actually see. But I've heard the coastal taipan is a different story.
Very different. The coastal taipan is the one you should actually worry about. It's slightly less toxic than the inland, but still incredibly deadly. It is the longest fangs of any Australian snake, about 12 millimeters.
Wow.
And it lives in populated coastal areas, specifically sugarcane fields. It delivers a massive payload of venom, and it is much more willing to defend itself if cornered.
There's one other snake in our notes that just gave me the absolute creeps. The death adder.
Ah, yes. The ambush predator. You see, most snakes will flee if they hear you coming. They feel the vibration of your footsteps and they take off.
Right.
The death adder does the exact opposite. It buries itself in the leaf litter and just waits.
It just sits there.
It sits there and wiggles the tip of its tail like a little worm to lure in birds or lizards. The danger for you, the hiker, is that because it doesn't run away, you don't see it.
So you step on it.
You step on it and it strikes. It's essentially a biological landmine.
But coming back to the stats, 37 deaths in 16 years. For a country literally crawling with eastern browns and taipans, that number is still incredibly low. Why aren't more people dying?
It's a massive medical win. We have excellent antivenoms now and incredibly rapid emergency care. If you get to a hospital, you will almost certainly survive. It's a real testament to modern medicine.
And the Royal Flying Doctor Service plays a huge part in that too, right? Getting to people in the outback.
Absolutely. They are lifesavers.
Well, speaking of medical wins, we have to talk about spiders. Because I feel like for a lot of people, snakes are bad, but spiders are just the stuff of literal nightmares.
The fear of spiders is very deep-seated. And Australia has two major players that everyone knows, the Sydney funnel web and the redback.
The Sydney funnel web looks like a tank. I've seen pictures of these things. They look like they've been hitting the gym.
It basically is a tank. It's aggressive. It has massive fangs that can literally pierce a human fingernail.
Ah.
And the males have a habit of wandering into homes looking for mates during the breeding season. Their venom is highly toxic to primates, which means us. It can kill a person in 15 to 30 minutes.
And then the redback is the one that hides under the toilet seat.
Or the letterbox or under the patio furniture.
Hmm.
They like human structures. Their bite causes excruciating pain, profuse sweating, muscle weakness. The medical term is latrodectism.
Okay, so highly aggressive tank spiders and sneaky, incredibly painful spiders. The death toll from these must be pretty significant.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. The number of confirmed spider bite deaths in Australia since 1981 is, zero.
Wait, zero?
Zero. Not a single one.
Hold on. You just said the funnel web can kill you in 15 minutes.
It can. But we developed a highly effective antivenom for the funnel web in 1981. Since that rollout, not a single person has died from a bite.
That is incredible.
It transformed what used to be a death sentence into just a very unpleasant medical event.
So the reputation is kind of stuck in the 1970s, but the reality is modern medicine has basically solved the spider problem.
Effectively, yes. I mean, you still don't want to get bitten. It hurts a lot, and you will definitely need to go to the hospital. But you aren't going to die.
Okay, so the land is safer than we thought. Let's go to the water. Because this is where I feel like the whole silent assassin vibe really kicks into high gear. The ocean doesn't care if you have antivenom if you can't even get back to the shore. The ocean is a completely different ballgame. And the headliner here is definitely the box jellyfish. It is widely considered the most dangerous marine animal on the planet.
And this isn't just like a bad bee sting, right?
Oh, no. We are talking about millions of microscopic harpoons called nematocysts. When the tentacles touch your skin, they fire venom that causes rapid cardiac arrest.
How rapid?
People have been known to die in 2 to 5 minutes.
2 to 5 minutes? You can't even swim back to the beach in that time.
Exactly. That's why it's so incredibly dangerous. It happens in tropical waters, usually shallow beaches during the summer months. But there is a practical tip here, strangely enough, vinegar.
Just regular household vinegar?
Yes. It doesn't cure the venom that is already inside you, but it deactivates the stinging cells on the tentacles that haven't fired yet.
Oh, I
So
did.
if you pour vinegar over the tentacles, you can safely remove them without injecting yourself with more venom.
Good to know. Pack the vinegar. But there's a smaller jellyfish too, right? The one with the cool name.
The irukandji.
Right.
It is tiny, like thumbnail size. You might not even see it in the water. You feel a little prick, maybe like a mosquito bite. But about 30 to 60 minutes after the sting, you get what's called irukandji syndrome.
What does that involve?
Severe back pain, uncontrollable vomiting, hypertension, and a very specific symptom medically described as a sense of impending doom.
I love it that is an actual medical symptom. Just, doctor, I feel like the world is ending.
Ah, yes, you've met the jellyfish. It's psychological terror induced by venom. It's absolutely fascinating from a medical standpoint.
Wow.
But let's look at the camouflage kings, the stonefish.
Right?
It looks exactly like a rock. You step on it in the shallows, and its dorsal spines inject venom that causes pain so severe, people have reportedly begged for amputation just to make it stop.
Yikes. And the cure for that one is hot water.
Yes, extreme heat helps break down the protein in the toxin. But there is one marine creature that I think is the most terrifying, purely because it is so deceptive. The blue-ringed octopus.
Oh, the little cute one with the glowing blue circles.
That's the one. It is tiny, docile, and beautiful. But it carries tetrodotoxin. That's the exact same poison found in pufferfish.
Okay.
And the bite is often completely painless. You might be exploring a rock pool, pick it up, feel a tiny prick, and think absolutely nothing of it. But then paralysis sets in.
And this is the real horror story part of the deep dive.
It is. You become fully paralyzed, you can't move your arms, you can't speak, and eventually your diaphragm muscles stop working so you can't breathe. But, and this is the truly terrifying part,
You remain fully conscious.
you remain entirely awake.
So you are trapped in your own body, suffocating, but fully aware of what's happening.
Correct. And there is no antivenom for tetrodotoxin. The only treatment is to be put on a mechanical ventilator and wait for your body to naturally metabolize the poison.
Wow.
If you get to a hospital in time and get put on breathing support, you survive. If you don't, well,
Okay, note to self, do not pick up the pretty octopus.
I'd never pick up the pretty octopus.
All right, let's move to the heavyweights. The dinosaurs, saltwater crocodiles.
The apex of the apex predators. The saltwater croc is the largest living reptile on Earth. They can grow over 5 meters long and weigh half a ton. They're evolutionary perfection. They haven't
Yeah.
really needed to change for millions of years.
And they are ambush predators, right?
The absolute best. They sit at the water's edge, completely submerged and perfectly still. When prey comes to drink, they literally explode out of the water. We're talking 0 to lethal in a split second.
And they do the famous death roll.
Yes, they grab you, drag you into deep water, and violently spin to disorient and drown you.
Yeah.
Between 2001 and 2017, there were 21 deaths from crocs.
That's pretty significant compared to the spiders.
It is. But we really had to look at the context. A lot of it comes down to human behavior.
Like ignoring warning signs.
Exactly. Ignoring no swimming signs, camping right next to the water in the tropical north. If you enter their territory, you are simply part of the food chain.
And then finally the one everyone talks about, sharks.
Great whites, bulls, tigers. There were 27 deaths in that 16-year period.
Which, again, brings us right back to the horses. Horses killed 172 people, sharks killed 27. But we have an entire Shark Week on TV, and we don't have a Horse Week.
It's the Jaws effect again. We are hardwired to fear being eaten by a monster. But statistically, with millions of people swimming in Australian waters every single year, the risk is vanishingly small.
But here is the surprise twist at the end of the data. There is one creature that killed more people than sharks or crocs, and it's not even a native Australian animal.
Yes. The European honeybee.
Bees.
Bees. 31 deaths. More than sharks with 27, and more than crocs with 21.
How does that happen? Just sheer numbers.
Anaphylaxis. Severe allergic reactions. The thing about bees is that they're everywhere. You don't have to trek to a remote tropical river or swim in the deep ocean to find a bee.
Right.
They are in your garden, they're at the local park, they're buzzing around the cafe. It's purely a numbers game. Human exposure is incredibly high, and for people with severe allergies, the consequences are deadly.
That really puts it all into perspective. We are so terrified of the monster in the deep, but we should actually be watching out for the flower bed.
Exactly. It completely reorients how you should assess risk.
So what does this all mean for us? We've busted the myths, we've looked at the stats. Is Australia safe?
I think the big takeaway is that Australia's wildlife is incredibly potent, but it's not malicious.
Right.
These animals aren't actively hunting humans. Snakes just want to get away from you. Spiders only bite if you accidentally squash them. Even the crocs are just doing what they've done for millions of years to survive.
It's not a horror movie, it's just a nature documentary.
Right. Most of these attacks are entirely defensive or accidental. You stepped on something or you startled something.
So the message isn't don't go to Australia, it's more like pay attention.
We call it informed respect. Modern medicine has removed the death sentence from almost all of these bites and stings. If you just check your boots before you put them on, read the warning signs at the beach, and carry a little bottle of vinegar, coexistence is completely possible.
It is a comforting thought, honestly. I kind of like the idea of this complex dance of coexistence. I mean, right now, as we speak, there are millions of Australians sleeping soundly in their beds. And in the garden outside, a funnel web might be wandering around, a great white might be cruising the coast just a few miles away.
And yet life just goes on.
Exactly. We fear the shark, but we ignore the horse and the bee. It really asks you to reconsider what you actually define as danger.
Well said.
Maybe we shouldn't fear the things we can't see, or maybe we shouldn't fear them at all. We just need to respect them. That's a wrap for this deep dive into Australia's deadliest creatures. Thanks for listening, and sleep well if you can.